we'll make a start. Lovely to see you. A bright morning. Get out there while you can. It's due to get a little bit cloudy this afternoon. So one of my favourite writers is, or columnist I should say, well-known writer, is Caitlin Moran, and she writes for the Times on a Saturday morning. And she wrote this lovely column on Saturday, and I just wanted to, and it really struck a chord. I just want to read you a little bit, and maybe you can kind of carry that through into your practice today. So she was writing about feeling blue, and it started off saying, help, even pub gardens and open shops haven't cheered me up. I've been blue. This is scarcely an outline statement. We've all been blue. We're all so low and tired that the whole country is varying shades of blue, strobing from the mildest lavender mist of absolute ennui right through to the dark, dirty navy of outright depression and everything in between them. For myself, I'd say I'm mid-Pantone chart, quite a pretty lapis lazuli. The New York Times recently ran a piece about this blueness there. The writer identified it as languishing. It's the void between depression and flourishing. You become dull, dwindled, and solitary. But I can see my blueness. I want to help myself. Blueness is boring. I don't care to think about it or talk about it. I just want it gone. And she talks about how she has tried to cure her blueness, going to pub gardens, buying some charity shops, getting her toenails painted, and kind of things haven't solved it until she realizes that I need to learn how to have days. We know, because we've heard the songs about it and read the poems explaining it, that each day is a miracle. To wake up alive, to have a whole day to be you, is definitely better than the alternative. But only if you have the knack of doing days right. Only if you have learned how to have days. I feel like we might all need to learn how to have days again now. But in the past year, we weren't having days at all. They were just lukewarm lumps of time until we could be free again. And I kind of resonated with that. I thought we really do need to almost relearn how to enjoy every moment when perhaps the last year, the moments haven't been quite so enjoyable. So we're setting ourselves up for greatness today with our yoga practice. We're going to set ourselves up so we can go and have one of those days, whatever we're doing. Let's set ourselves up so we can really enjoy the rest of our day, feeling invigorated, feeling stretched, feeling hopefully a little bit more open-hearted and buoyant to whatever the day has ahead of us. So we're going to start by lying down today. We'll take a little moment to arrive. So let's lie ourselves down. You want to pop something under your head, or if you want to stretch your legs out and pop something underneath your knees, feel free. Or maybe you're feeling a little bit tight in the lower back, in which case maybe keep your knees bent to start with and your feet on the floor. Maybe just allowing your inner knees to rest against each other and taking your feet a little bit wider apart. Arms gently rest alongside you, or a hand on the belly and the chest, whatever feels natural. I'll just come to seated to let anyone in who might join us a little bit late. So let's just look for the most comfortable arrangement for your lower back and your hips. So make any movement that you need to do. And Caitlin Moran was talking about feeling blue, and I don't know who said it, but I remember reading a quote that said, happiness is an inside job. We can't expect to knit to charity shops, go to pubs, do all of those things and expect necessarily that those things are going to make us feel better or happier. It's within our gift to choose how we feel to a certain degree. So let's choose to start our day with a sense of positivity and gratitude this morning as we come into our practice. Coming into your breath as you focus on the inside. Letting go of whatever the previous days have involved. So you can really enjoy this practice unencumbered and leave ready to face the rest of this beautiful day. So we'll just take a couple of moments here to arrive. settling into the space, letting the body kind of drop out of whatever busyness might have occupied your morning, your day thus far. Becoming a little bit more aware of all those sensations within the body today. Areas of freedom and space, as opposed to those pockets of tightness that we bring to our practice. Beginning to let the shoulders drop away from the ears, beginning to soften the face, and beginning to invite the breath in, bringing it down a little bit lower each time, really enjoying that sense of creating some space in the belly and the chest as you inhale. And then if you're lying outstretched, let's just bring the feet back in towards you. So we can all just hug our knees in towards our chest now. So you might have the knees slightly apart, they might be together. So whatever works for your configuration of hips today. And as you just gently squeeze the knees in towards your chest, just notice how that changes your relationship with the floor beneath you. You might feel, oh, here it comes. You might feel that the kind of back of the waistband is pressing a little bit more firmly in towards the floor. And you might feel a little bit of arching and rounding through your lower back as you bring the knees in and up. And you might want to bring a little bit of movement there initially, just a little rocking, maybe a circling of your knees, just a gentle massage. Again, just noticing how that changes your relationship with the floor beneath you. And then taking stock of how you feel this morning and how you wish to proceed up to seated. So you might just gently roll to one side if energy is a little bit low and the body feels a little bit tight. Or you can hold on behind your knees, maybe cross your ankles, slightly widen your knees, and have a little roll up and down through the length of the spine, cat-tail permitting, until you come up to a seated position. I'll come around to face you. My glamorous assistant has joined us in a state of deep despair that there is rice in his food. He's going to have one of those days, I think. So we sit up nice and tall, place our feet on the floor and just hold on around the backs of the knees there. So a little cheeky boat pose to start with. Let's wake up through the abdominals. So just holding on around the backs of the knees, lift up nice and tall through the spine. As you lean back just a little ways, see if you can just slide your toes in towards you. You might just want to stay there this morning, lifting up through the chest, or you might lean back a little further and see if you can lift your shins off the floor. Thank you, Milu, for licking my underarms as I come into boat pose. That's very kind of you. So you might want to stay there, lifting up through the chest, a little smile on the face. You might want to release the arms, palms up towards the ceiling. We'll keep the knees bent to start with. Seeing if we can hold for 3, for 2, and for 1. Bring the feet down. This time we'll cup the front of the knees and just take a little lean back. So we're hollowing out through the belly, getting a nice rounding out through the back. Dropping the chin to the chest, spreading the shoulder blades left to right. Lovely. And then we'll come all the way back up to seated. This time just sliding the legs out nice and long in front of you, popping a little bend in your knees. If you're going to eat my toes, you're going to have to go outside if you're going to be naughty. Keeping a bend in the knees as you inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. And this time as you exhale, we'll come forward over the legs. And just let that journey forward almost be the posture in itself. So without worrying about how far you get down, whether you can kiss your knees, whether your hands are wrapped around your toes, just let that journey towards the forward fold be enough this morning. Tucking the chin in. The hamstrings feel really tight, any pulling on the back. Try popping even more bend in the knees so you can allow the body to yield forwards there. Easing your way down. Lovely. And slowly, slowly, we'll bring ourselves back up to seated. So this time, we'll just straighten the legs out a little bit more. And if you find that you're rounding through the back there, pop a cushion or a blanket underneath your bottom there. So you can just raise your hips and tilt your pelvis forwards. I'm going to bring the right hand down just alongside you. And as you inhale, let's sweep the left arm all the way up. And as you exhale, we'll take that arm overhead into a nice side stretch. Inhale to center. Exhale, let's come all the way down over to the other side. Lovely. So a little tick-tock from side to side. I'll just let this person in. So inhale to reach up and exhale just to tip from side to side there. Beautiful. And as you reach the arm over, just make sure that you're not leaning the body. You're trying to keep the weight even through the sit bones. So let's do one more over to the right. Lovely, left arm reaching up, and then one more coming over to the left. Beautiful, then we'll come all the way back through center. Slide the feet back in towards you. Soles of the feet on the floor, holding on around the backs of the legs. Lean back a little way, slide the toes towards you, lift up nice and tall through the chest. And again, we'll try a little boat pose, so shins parallel to the floor. You can stay here, just trying to get that lift through the chest. You can reach the arms out, palms up towards the ceiling. If you're feeling brave, you can straighten the legs. And if you're feeling super strong, you can raise the arms. Setting ourselves up for greatness. Let's see if we can hold for 5, 4, keep breathing, 3, 2, and 1. Gorgeous, bring the feet down. Just bring the hands around the front of the knees and we'll take that little counter stretch, leaning back, hollowing out through the belly, chin to chest, stretching out between the shoulder blades. Lovely, sliding the legs out in front of you. Beautiful. So straightening the legs or keeping a little bend in the knees. This time we'll come into a little twist. So left hand comes to the outside of your right thigh. Let's take a nice inhale, reaching the right arm up. And as you twist to the right on an exhale, this time we'll bring the back of the hand and wrap it around the low back. Some of you might even be able to bring the hand around to the opposite waist. So that kind of takes away any tendency to lean into that supporting hand. So we're having to use those deep postural muscles to keep us nice and lifted. You might turn your gaze over that back shoulder. You might keep the head in a more neutral position. Keep lifting up nice and tall. A little bit more twist as you inhale. Exhale, rotate. Lovely. And then slowly, slowly, let's come all the way back through center. Right hand comes to outside of left thigh. Inhale, take the left arm up. And as you exhale, we'll take that little twist. So bring the hand around to the low back. You might even snuggle it in round to the opposite waist, depending on how open the shoulders you are, how long your arms are. Again, avoiding the temptation to lean to the side or get that lovely ringing out through the middle back, the upper back as you turn the body to the left. Keep flexing the feet, keep pulling the toes towards your face. Take one more inhale there. Exhale, see if you can find a little bit more rotation. And then come all the way back through center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Back into that forward fold, last time coming all the way down, tucking the chin in, lengthening out through the back of the neck so we've got no wrinkles in the back of the neck. Lovely, softening down, generous bend in the knees if the hamstrings feel a little bit tight today. Again, just let this kind of journey towards the forward fold be the destination in itself again, not worrying how far we come. Lovely. And then slowly, slowly, we'll walk the hands back towards you, rebuild the spine. We'll tuck the feet to one side and come round onto all fours. And just make sure that you've got nothing on either side of you because we're going to do some leg sweeps from side to side. So just making sure as much as you can that you've got some free space on either side of you. For the moment, we'll keep the hands under the shoulders, hands spread nice and wide, knees underneath your hips. So we can find that lovely length through the spine. Nice tabletop position. So take time to place your hands down and your knees down carefully. Lovely. And then let's start to move our body with the way that we know so well in our cat-cow. So as we inhale, we'll dip the belly, tuck the tailbone up, take the chest forwards, keep pressing into your hands there. And exhale, press into hands as you round the back, tucking the chin in this time. Getting that lovely stretch between the shoulder blades. Inhaling, head and heart come forwards. Maybe close the eyes. So you're really savouring again that journey to and from each pose, coming forwards into cow and then rounding up into that cat pose. Let's do a couple more. Freeing up some space, opening up through the chest. Spreading the shoulder blades. This should feel really nice, especially if you've been spending a long time kind of sitting down, maybe in front of a computer. Let's do one more. Oh, that feels nice this morning. Or over a jigsaw. Lovely. And then we'll find our way back into that tabletop position. Let me just come round to face you. I'm going to take your right leg back behind you. So right leg comes all the way back behind you. And we'll push the heel away from you. Keep bringing your chest and the crown of the head forward. So just make sure that you've not dropped your gaze. Keep looking forwards. Lovely. Nice stretch out through the back of the leg. And then we'll pick up the right foot and just tuck it over your left foot. So tuck it in there on the ball of the foot, pushing the heel away. And then just turn your gaze to look towards your right foot. So you're just looking over your left shoulder there. Keep firming up through the belly. Keep pressing into your right hand. Lovely. And then bring the gaze back to center. Going to slide that right leg all the way back behind you and then all the way out to the right. Turning the big toe forwards, walking the hands back, so we're setting ourselves up for gate pose. Let's come all the way up, reaching the arms out nice and wide. So we've got the right leg out to the side. Take a nice inhale, and as you exhale, we're going to wrap a right arm under left arm. Oh, cheeky eagle pose. So if you want to just bring your hands onto your shoulders early on, feel free. If you can come into that double wrap, so we're crossing at the wrist. Elbows lifting away from the chest, soften the shoulders, take a nice breath in as you lift up. And as you exhale, slowly, slowly drop the elbows down. So we're finding that stretch as you inhale. So inhale, elbows come away from the chest and up towards the ceiling there, fingertips lifting, and then exhale as you slowly release. Lovely, one more. So inhale, lifting up. And exhale, release. Big inhale to sweep the arms out to the side now. And exhale, let's come over that right leg into a nice gate pose. So top arm overhead, palm down, push the hips forwards, stretch out through the side body. And then inhale through center. Pop the hips up to the right as you exhale over to the left. So we're not reaching the floor, we're just hovering there, using those side muscles of the obliques. Lovely. Inhale through center. Let's do one more. Exhale over that right leg. You can tuck your chin in towards your armpit or keep the gaze forward. Lovely. Inhale through center. So we'll just pop the hips up towards the right. Little hover there, fingertips reaching down towards the floor. And then we'll come all the way back through center, bringing the hands down in front of you. And just walk them forward. So you've got a nice long belly, long back, hands underneath the shoulders. So coming into thread needle with our right arm. So as you inhale, let's reach up and look up, opening up through the chest. And as you exhale, we'll feed that right arm under the left. Maybe not going to go too far this morning. Inhale, reaching up. So I can feel a nice stretch through my right inner thigh as I feed that arm underneath. And do that just once more. Inhale. And exhale. Lovely. So let's hold in that twist. We're going to take the chest forward. So make sure you've not dropped the weight back. Bring the chest and the crown of the head forward as you reach that right arm up, up, up. And then bring the hands down. And we're going to bring that right leg all the way back behind you, pressing it out through the ball of the foot. Hollow out through the belly. Nice long back. Option to stay there. Or tuck the left toes under, and we'll come into a three-legged dog, taking that right leg all the way up behind us. Have a little turn of the ankle at that right foot, a little circle one way and then the other. And then we'll step the right foot just behind the left foot. So staying in that downward dog, you're tucking your right foot behind your left foot. Bend your underneath knee, so you're going to bend that left knee and press the right heel back and away from you. So you're straightening out that right leg. Left knee is bent. Nice stretch for the back of that right leg. Beautiful. Let's bring the feet hip width apart. Come back down onto all fours. Have a little wrist twirl if you need to. And then we'll try all of that on the opposite side. So a little cat-cow in between. Inhale, lift the head, lift the heart. Exhale as you round up, angry cat. Let's do that once more. Whoa. Ripple forwards on an in-breath. And then send the shoulder blades left to right as you exhale. Beautiful. So this time we'll take the gaze forward. So the temptation is to drop the head. So keep the gaze forwards. This time as you take the left leg back behind you, or turn around the opposite way. So left leg, gazing forwards, pushing the heel back. Nice stretch and open through the back of the leg. And then we'll just tuck your left foot over your right foot. Keep pushing the heel away from you. And you can keep the gaze just forwards at the fingertips, or have a little peep over your right shoulder, so you're looking towards that left heel there. Keep pressing the heel away. Keep the weight even through the hands. And then bring the gaze forwards. You're going to take that left leg all the way back behind you, and then taking it out to the left, so the big toe roughly lines up with your right knee. We'll walk the hands back, coming up into that gate pose. So reach the arms out nice and wide. Take an inhale. This time as you exhale, left arm wraps underneath and we'll come into eagle pose. So remember, you can just bring your hands onto your shoulders if it's a little bit tight today. One side might feel different. So as you inhale, we lift the elbows away from the chest, fingertips towards the ceiling. And then exhale, just drop them down so the elbows might be level with the shoulders, maybe a little bit lower. Twice more. Getting that nice stretch, shoulders away from ears as you inhale. I always feel I've got more movement on this side. Lovely. Let's do just once more. Inhale. And exhale. This time as you inhale, nice release. Sweep the arms out, shoulder height. Exhale, coming over the left leg this time. Push the hips forwards. Up arm alongside the ear. Lovely. Inhale through center. We'll pop the hip to the left as you reach the right fingertips just towards the floor. So they're not reaching the floor unless you've got super long arms. Inhale through center, hips to center. One more each way. So we're really using these muscles of the obliques, our side muscles, to keep us, particularly now as we hover the fingertips just off the floor. Beautiful. We'll come all the way back through center and then bring the hands down. So again, you don't want your hands close to your knee. You want to walk the hands forward. So you're really lengthening out through the front and the back of the body. Wrists underneath the shoulders. So this time it's the left arm with that thread needle. So as you inhale, let's take the left arm up, turning the chest, turning the gaze. And as you exhale, we'll feed that arm underneath. Lovely. So I get that nice stretch in my inner thigh. Twice more. So open up with the left arm and then exhale. Back of the hand just skims the floor once more. Open up. And stretch it out. Lovely. So let's hold that twist. So crown of the head and chest coming forwards as you reach up. Some of you might even be able to open that top arm, maybe lean back a little ways, depending on how the shoulder feels. Beautiful. And then we'll bring the hands down and bring that left leg all the way back behind you. Ball of the foot to the floor. Nice and strong through the belly. Option to stay there, getting a nice stretch out through the back of the leg. Or tuck the right toes under. Three-legged dog, this time left leg coming all the way up and back. Push it up. We'll circle through the foot a couple of times, little twirl. And then we'll step the left foot behind the right foot. So tucking it in. So this time we're bending the right knee and pushing the left heel toward the floor. So underneath knee is bent. Leg on top is straight. Beautiful. And then let's come back with the feet hip width apart, dropping down onto all fours. Just sit back on your heels for a moment and give the wrists a little bit of love. Little circle, little shake, warming them up. And then we'll come back onto all fours. You're going to tuck the toes under and find our downward facing dog. This time both feet firmly on the floor. Thank goodness. Take your dog for a little walk this morning, shifting the weight as you bend one knee and then the other. Maybe trying to match that with your breath so the movement is mindful. Inhale to bend one knee. Exhale as you change sides. So it's a little kind of syncopated pedaling going on there. Lovely. Getting a nice stretch up through the back of the leg. Try to elevate the hips, lengthen through the side body. Upper arms alongside the ears. And then we'll take that walk forward. So continuing now just to pad forwards. Coming to the top of your mat, your feet behind your wrist. Take a moment there to bend your knees. You can cradle your elbows, you can move, you can just hang out there for a moment. So just let the lower back feel nice and supported there as you bend the knees. Even if you are opening the hamstrings, just let it all go. Lovely. And then keeping the knees bent and the chin tucked, we'll roll our way up. Let the arms dangle really heavily as you rebuild the spine. Beautiful. Let me just adjust the camera. As you inhale, take both arms all the way out and up. And as you exhale, let's bring the hands down to the heart. Lovely. We're going to do that twice more with a knee bend. So inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms all the way out and up. And as you exhale, let's bring the hands to the heart. One more, just waking the body up this morning. This time as you exhale, we'll pause with the hands to the heart. Maybe just close the eyes for a moment. And as we begin just to move the body a little bit more energetically, you might want to perhaps set yourself up with an intention for your practice today. An intention for your day. day ahead. I've really kind of started doing this first thing in the morning, and it really does have an effect. Those kind of words we say to ourselves, those intentions we set for ourselves. So if you are choosing to do so, let it be positive, let it be affirmative. Lovely. And then let's begin to move with the breath. So deep knee bend. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. And as you exhale, let's come down into a forward fold. So you might take the arms out to the side or in front of you, space permitting. Let's slide the hands up the front of the legs, coming into our first halfway lift. So we'll pause there, sliding the shoulders away from the ears. Again, ironing out the wrinkles in the back of the neck by sending the tips of the ears and the crown forwards. Follow out through the belly. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, we'll bend the knees, plant the hands, and take the right leg back. And we'll drop that back knee. Lovely. You can flatten the feet. You can keep the toes tucked. And as you inhale, sweep the arms up into a lovely low lunge. So I'm going to stay here for a couple of breaths. So I'm going to take my arms out in a nice wide V so I can soften the shoulders and really lift up out of the hips. So get a lovely sense of lengthening all four sides of the waist without popping the ribs forwards and without throwing the head back. Lovely. We'll take one more nice deep breath in as you reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, float the hands down. Pick up the back knee. Now, option to take a child pose, skip these bits out. Or as you inhale, send that left leg back into plank. We'll pause in this first plank. Maybe have a little playful rock back and forth. You can always drop straight down to your knees. If you're with me, building up a little bit of strength. Lovely. Inhaling, rocking the weight forwards. As you exhale, we'll all bring the knees down for this first one, lowering the chest down as you flatten the feet. Hands might come a little wider, depending on how the chest and the shoulders feel today. 3 rippling cobras. So as you inhale, catch the inhale, that wave of breath to lift you up, and exhale to lower down. So again, you might even close your eyes here as we do that twice more. Nothing complicated this morning. So feel the feels, whatever's going on in the body this morning. So widen the hands if the chest feels tight. Last one. Inhale, catching the breath, lifting you up. Exhale, we'll lower down. Bring the hands a little closer to the shoulders if you've widened them to inhale to all fours. And as you exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose. As you breathe out, see if you can sit the heels down, lengthen out through the sides of the waist a little more. So shift the weight onto your left foot. And as you inhale, right leg lifts all the way up. Exhale, step it forwards between the hands and we'll drop the back knee. So this time we've got the right foot forwards. Lovely. So flatten the back foot. Inhale, reach up. And this time as you exhale, we're going to straighten that front leg as we come down into a hamstring stretch. So some of you might want to rest here, hands on the top of the thigh. Some of you might be able to bring fingertips to frame that front foot. Let's take a nice deep breath in as you lift the chest, look forwards. And as you exhale, can you sink yourself down over that extended leg, just bringing the hips back to center if they've veered off course there. Now we've got the option to stay here, or those of you who want a little deeper stretch can come into a pistol stretch. So any problems with hamstrings or Achilles, please stay here. If you're open in your hamstrings, you might slide yourself back so you're sitting on that left heel and the right leg is extended out in front of you. And just make sure that you've not lifted that right hip up, so you're trying to square up through the hips there. So it's a strong hamstring stretch. Wherever you are, let's stay just for one more breath. Ooh, be mindful, especially if you've taken the pistol stretch with me. Lovely. Let's all bend the front knee. Planting the foot down, plant the left hand to the floor. And as you inhale, let's take the right arm all the way up into a twist. And as you exhale, bring the hand down. Pick up the back knee, look forwards. And as you inhale, step to the top of the mat, feet hip width. Exhale to fold. Deep knee bend. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way out and up. Exhaling, hands to heart, pause. Take a nice deep breath in. You're going to do that on the left side, adding the breath. Exhale to soften. Here we go, deep knee bend. Inhale, all the way up. You might even take a little back bend, pushing the hips forwards as you look up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale all the way down, arms might come out to the side. I'm just a bit tight for space this morning. Lifting up halfway as you inhale, your fingertips might just be on the floor or shins or thighs. And as you exhale, slide or step left leg back this time. Let's bring the knee down. And then sweep the arms up. Let's find that lovely low lunge or crescent lunge. So we're lifting up and out to the floor. So you're pressing the floor away. We're not collapsing or dumping all the weight into that front knee. You're pressing, you're being quite active through the top of that back foot and the sole of the front foot. Soften the rib cage, soften the shoulders, reaching up towards the ceiling, easy with the breath. Let's take one more inhale as you reach up nice and tall. Find that length. Exhale, bring the hands down. Pick up the back knee. Inhale into your plank or skip this bit. And this time as you shift the weight forwards on an exhale, you might choose to keep your knees lifted. Yogi's choice. Flatten the feet, one baby cobra this time. Inhale, pressing into the tops of the feet, drop the pelvis. Exhale to lower down. Let's all come onto all fours as you inhale, tucking the toes under. Ready for downward dog as you exhale, growing the hips nice and tall. Maybe step the feet in. Find that length through the sides of the body as you take a nice deep breath in. And just settle into that shape as you exhale. So this time, left leg lifting. So as you inhale, let's lift the left leg up, coming onto the toes of the underneath foot. Exhale as you step or help it forward. So give it a hand if it doesn't quite get there, and we'll drop the back knee, flattening the foot. Nice deep breath in as you sweep the arms up back into that lunge. But this time as you exhale, we're going to straighten the front leg. So this might be your hamstring stretch. Hands might just settle just above the knee there, or fingertips might find the floor. Now I can feel that my hips have already kind of wandered off center there. So I'm going to draw the hips back to center. Whatever your hands are doing, whether they found the floor or the top of the leg, we'll take an inhale as you lift the chest and exhale to melt the body down. So just get the sense again of yielding forwards, bowing down over that leg. So again, being mindful if hamstring feels tight or Achilles is pulling, please stay here. Or you might come into that pistol stretch. So you've got to slide the hands back a little bit as you drop your hips. So you're sitting on that right heel. Left leg extended, toes pulled up towards your face there. So the temptation is that we kind of lean to that right side. So you try and drop your right hip down. So my bottom's not on the floor, but my hips are more or less level there. Lovely. Let's take one breath wherever you are. And then we'll plant that left foot, bending the knee, right hand to the floor. This time as you inhale, left arm lifts, feet it up. Exhale, bring both hands down. Pick up the back knee. Inhale as you spring the feet together, top of the mat. Exhale as you fold. Deep knee bend. Take a nice breath in as you rise up. Exhaling, bringing the hands down to your heart. Lovely. Pause there. Maybe close the eyes. Maybe catching the breath again. I'm just going to come to the top of the mat as I start to mirror you. Beautiful. So we'll just bring the hands to the hips and really find that relationship with your feet and the earth now. So we're going to spread the toes nice and wide as we come into a little bit of balance. So if you're feeling remotely wibbly wobbly today, remember you can use a wall or a piece of furniture to help you. I can't get my camera sorted today, guys. Sorry, I keep chopping bits of me off, which might not be a bad thing. So let's shift the weight into your left foot. And maybe you just want to peel the right heel up today. We'll see if you can lift the knee, and then we'll interlace the hands around the front of the knee and bring your knee to your chest rather than your chest towards your knee. So you're nice and tall there. Lovely. And then keep the right hand where it is. We're going to take the left arm all the way up towards the ceiling. Now you might want to stay there, or we're going to send the arm and knee in opposite directions. So left arm out to the side, right knee opens out. Push the floor away, stay nice and tall as you reach that left arm out to the left. If you're feeling super confident, you might take your gaze over the left thumb. I'm going to keep looking forwards. Lovely. Let's come all the way back through center. This time, left hand to right knee. Reach the right arm up. Option to stay there, or circle the right arm back behind you and maybe even take your gaze towards your right thumb. If you're stuck for space, you can just cactus that right arm. Lovely. Let's come all the way back through center. Give that knee a little hug. And then bring the foot to the floor. Have a little pad out. I've got a wobbly floorboard. Really throws me. So let's change sides. So you might just want to lift your left heel or interlace the hands. Now you might have to lean forwards to catch your knee, But if you do that, knee to chest rather than chest to knee. Lovely. So this time, left hand stays on the knee as you reach the right arm up. This is my wibbly wobbly side. And then we'll take arm and leg in opposite directions. So left knee opens, right arm reaches out to the side. So rather than leaning over to the right, keep pressing the floor away, lifting up nice and tall. Lovely. Slowly come back to center. Changing sides. So right hand on knee, left arm reaches up. You might stay there, or open the arm back behind you. And if you're feeling super confident, look over your left thumb. Drop that left hip a little bit. Lovely. Let's come all the way back through center. Give that knee a little squeeze. And then bring both feet to the floor. Have a little pad out through the feet. And then making sure you've got some mat behind you. I'm just going to change position on the mat so I can mirror you. We'll bring the hands to the hips. And just lift your right heel. Lovely. So shift the weight into that left foot, and then we'll sweep the arms up as you lift that right knee level with the hip. Take an inhale. Exhale, hands to hips again as you step the right leg back. So we're ready for a high lunge. So all 10 toes face forwards. Option if you're feeling wibbly wobbly to drop the back heel in and turn your toes out slightly. So you're in more of a warrior one. If your balance is okay, we're in that high lunge. Pop a little bend in the back knee. It's almost like you're doing a chair pose with that front leg. And sweep the arms up towards the ceiling. Lovely. Let's take an inhale as you reach up. And as you exhale, you might lean back a little way, taking the chest and the gaze up towards the ceiling. Lovely. Inhale as you reach skywards. And as you exhale, warrior two. So we're going to drop that right heel in, turning the toes out. So we're reaching forwards over that left knee. Beautiful. Stretch the arms apart. See if you can sink a little deeper into that left knee. Beautiful. Left palm turns up. Inhale as you reach all the way up and back. Keep the legs where they are. Exhale, forearm to thigh. Right arm all the way up and over. Lovely. Extended side angle. Inhale, reverse. We're going to do that one more time. Lovely. Exhale. So you might bring forearm to thigh. You might bring the hand down towards your shin. Lovely. This time as you inhale, reach both arms up, straighten both legs and turn all toes to the long edge of the mat. And then as you exhale, we'll reverse our warrior two. So turn to the other side of your mat, right knee bends, arms out level with the shoulders. So we're just facing the opposite way. Lovely. Right palm lifts. Inhale as you reach all the way up and back. So just facing the opposite direction. Exhaling, forearm to thigh. Same thing. Lovely. Once more, inhale. So we're going to add on this next time. And this time as you exhale again, you might choose to bring your forearm to your thigh or drop into the hips as you bring the hand down toward the floor. Beautiful. Both arms lift, all 10 toes face forward, straighten both legs. Inhale. This time as you exhale, all the way down into a forward fold. So you might want to slightly pigeon toe your feet, toes in, heels out, just to free up some space in the back. You might keep the hands just forwards little ways, or walk the hands back so your wrists are more or less underneath your shoulders there. Drawing the body down a little deeper. So just take your time to allow the body to yield forwards. It might be a bend in the knees. You might even want to keep your hands on your thighs and just come up halfway. Beautiful. So let's come up onto the fingertips. Lifting the chest halfway, so you just let the blood pressure have a chance to settle. And then we're going to turn over that left foot. So you're facing the way you came, turning all 10 toes forwards. Right hand on the floor. Inhale as you take the left arm up. So we're coming into a twist. This time we've got the back knee lifted. Exhale as you bring both hands down. Spring the feet together at the top of your mat as you inhale. Exhale as you fold all the way down. Press into the feet. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhaling, hands to heart. Pause for a round of breath. I'm just going to come to the other side of my mat. So again, I can mirror you. Lovely. And then bringing the hands to your hips, taking the gaze forwards. This time, left heel lifts. And just notice if you kind of tip the hips up. So try and keep level through the pelvis. Try and keep the hips level now as you sweep the arms up and lift that knee hip height. Take an inhale. Exhale, hands come back to the hips as you step the left leg back this time. Option to stay all 10 toes forwards, back of the back leg on the ball of the foot, or more stability, spin that back heel in. Choice is yours. Lovely. Pop a little bend in that back knee, drop your center. And then we'll reach the arms all the way up. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, you might even lean back a little way. So kind of challenging yourself with balance to take the gaze up towards the ceiling. Inhale, coming back to your lunge. And as you exhale, this time left heel drops in. So we're in our warrior two. So the right knee is bent. Beautiful. Turning the right palm up. Inhale as you reach all the way up and back. Exhale, forearm to thigh. So knowing you can stay here, or inhale, coming back into your reverse warrior. Pause as you bring both arms up. So upper arms frame the ears. Lovely. Take an inhale. And this time as you exhale, arms stay where they are. So lift that underneath arm to hug the side of the head. Lovely. We're going to do one more. So whatever version you're doing, inhale to arc back. Remember, you can always drop that arm. Lovely. Exhale. So you're turning the chest, tucking the chin in towards your armpit. Lovely. Straightening both legs, reaching up, turning the toes forwards. Inhale. Exhale, back down into that forward fold. Lovely. So we're going to add on this next time. So walk the hands forward. So your hands are under your shoulders. Nice long back and long belly, just as we did when we were in our gate pose and brought the hands down. Lovely. So keep the left hand underneath the shoulder. And as you inhale, we're going to take the right arm all the way up. And as you exhale, lower the hand down. Lovely. So I'm just on my fingertips, other side. Keep the chest coming forwards. Inhale. And exhale. Lovely. Just one more. Lovely. So turning the chest, keeping the crown of the head. And the chest coming forwards. Last time. Left arm lifts. Exhale. Lovely. Walk one hand forwards, then the other one. Nice long arms, and then just drop the weight back into your heels. Then the head drops, so it's almost like a wide-legged downward dog position you're doing there, stretching out through the sides of the body. Beautiful. And then walk the hands back towards you. Soften the knees and roll your way up. And then we'll turn the left foot forwards, coming back into our warrior two. So we're going to do that sequence facing the opposite side of your mat. So left palm turns up. Let's inhale into our reverse warrior. Lovely. Just let that back hand just drop down onto your right leg. Exhale, forearm to thigh. Lovely. Right arm up and over. So now you can stay here. It's no worries. Or we'll come back into our reverse warrior. So this time we'll lift that right arm. So the arms hug the ears. Inhale. And as you exhale, we'll come into that side angle now. You can keep your arms, it's like a little sandwich press, hugging the side of the head, chest forwards. Lovely. One more. Inhale, reach back. Lovely. And exhale. So if you're doing this, you've really got to use those side muscles. We are setting ourselves up for greatness. Inhale, reaching up, turning all 10 toes forwards. Last time back down into that forward fold. So again, you can slightly pigeon toe your feet as you walk your hands forward. So lengthen through the back and the front of the body. So let's keep the left hand where it is underneath the shoulder. We'll take the right arm all the way up. Now we've got the option to stay there, or your left hand comes to the outside of your right foot, or maybe you can just hold your shin and keep that twist. So keep your chest open. Remember, you can always keep the left hand where it is. Lovely. If you're with me in that twist with the hand to the shin or the outside of the foot, let's come all the way back through center as you bring both hands down. And then we'll change sides. So left arm lifts, right hand stays underneath shoulder. We can stay there. Or right hand comes to outside of left foot or maybe your ankle. And see again if you can open up through the chest. It's a much deeper twist. So take your challenge or not. Lovely. Let's come all the way back through center. Take the arms forwards, really lengthen through the arms again. Drop the gaze, drop the weight back into your heels. Take a moment there just to stretch it all out. Lovely. And then just walking the hands back, lifting the chest up halfway. We're going to turn all 10 toes. You're coming over your right foot this time. You're turning over your right foot. So you're turning all 10 toes forwards. Left hand where it is. Right arm lifts as you inhale back into that twist. Keep opening up through the back of that left knee. Exhale as you bring the hands down. Inhale as you step the feet together, coming to the top of the mat. Exhale as you fold over the legs. Take a nice deep knee bend. Rise all the way up. Inhale. And as you exhale, just close the eyes as you bring your hands to your heart. Just notice all those little movements, maybe left to right, side to side, as the body finds its place in space. Lengthening out through the tailbone. Drop the tailbone down, lift up, breastbone meeting thumbs, open-hearted, shoulders back, chin just dropping down gently, opening up through the back of the neck, taking a moment. Lovely. And then as you blink the eyes open one last time, deep knee bend. Inhale, sweep the arms skywards. Maybe a little baby back bend. Exhale all the way down. Hands might come down the midline or out to the side. Lifting up halfway as you inhale. And as you exhale, let's step back into a downward facing dog. Lovely. Inhale as you roll the body forward. You can always skip this bit. And as you exhale, just come down to lie on your belly. So we'll all meet lying down on your tummy. Just picking up one leg and sliding it back behind you. And then doing the same with the other. Now slide the forearms underneath, or elbows underneath the shoulders, I should say. Forearms are parallel, so we're in our Sphinx pose. So have a little wobble through the front of the pelvis there. And then allow the hips to sink. Lengthen out through the toes. And feel the chest lifting as you imagine drawing your elbows back towards the side of your ribcage. Lovely. Palms are flat to the floor. And just check that you're not splaying your hands out, so your index fingers are pointing forwards there. Lovely. Keep that lovely sense of length and lift through the front body as you allow your chin just to drop down towards the chest. And then take a little roll, right ear to right shoulder. Keep pressing into that left elbow and then come all the way back through center. Left ear, left shoulder, pressing into right elbow. Let's do one more each side. So a little roll, a little stretch out through the neck. Lovely, left ear, left shoulder, pressing into right elbow. We'll come all the way back through center, bringing the chin parallel to the floor. Option to stay there in Sphinx, or if your back feels okay, as you lengthen the toes away from you, begin to peel your forearms up, coming into seal pose. Tuck the elbows in so we're not flaring out. We're still keeping the forearms parallel. Lovely. Hollow out through the belly, so bring your navel up to meet your spine to fill out the back of the waist. Take one more inhale there. And as you exhale, slowly lower down. Make a little support for your forehead as you maybe flick your feet up towards the ceiling. And just have a little windscreen wiper side to side, or just circle the legs there, a little massage for your knees. I quite like circling them. Lovely. And then just pop the legs back down behind you. Bring the hands under the shoulders. Come up onto all fours. Now, option two, come to cross-legged just for a minute. Or no, sorry, come straight to child pose. Or just for a moment, come to hero pose. If hero pose doesn't work for you, just rest in child pose. We're going to meet you there in a minute. Just let the hands just drop down alongside you. We're going to do a little ripple up and down into our child pose. If this pose in hero feels okay, if not, child pose it is. Let's take an inhale. And as you exhale, can you lengthen the belly and the chest forwards? As you come down into your child pose, your forehead might meet the floor. And then as you inhale, keep the chin tucked in as you roll your way back up into your hero pose, shoulders above the hips. Lovely. Exhale as you slowly ripple down. And then as you inhale, chin tucks in, Roll your weight all the way back up. And last time, as you exhale, let's come all the way down into our child pose. Now you might just extend the arms back behind you, turning the palms up towards the ceiling and reaching back. Fingertips reach beyond your toes. Or if that's uncomfortable, you can stretch the arms out in front of you, or even support your forehead and take the elbows out nice and wide. So make any micro adjustments that you might need in that child pose to make it comfortable. And if child pose isn't a pose of release and comfort for you, then find one that is. Maybe just come to a comfortable seated position. You could take another Sphinx pose. Wherever we are, let that pose be one of ease, that you can just begin to surrender the body into a little bit of slowness now. Lovely, just one or two more breaths there. Before you slowly walk the hands back. So we're back in that hero pose just momentarily before we drop our hips to one side and come to a comfortable cross-legged position. It really doesn't matter which leg is in front of the other. Beautiful. So let's inhale and sweep the arms up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, we're going to twist to the right. One hand comes directly in front, the other comes directly behind you, fingertips finding the floor. Inhale back through center. So going to move with the breath. Exhale, twist to the left, one hand in front, the other behind. Lovely. One more each way. So a lovely rhythmical way to bring our body towards stillness. Lovely. One more. So this time both arms lifting, inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to come forwards into a forward fold. So as you melt down, notice which leg is in front. So some of you might have the hands planted and the chest quite high. Others might be able to slide the arms forwards. And if you've crossed your legs mid-shin, you can try flexing your feet and just seeing if that changes a little bit of stretch in your outer hips. You flex your feet so your toes are pointing forwards. Tuck the chin in, lengthen out through the back of the neck. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, see if you can surrender down a little further, not losing that connection through the sit bones. Lovely. Walk the hands all the way back. Recross the legs. So this time it will feel the strange way because we're all creatures of habit and our body will choose the path of least resistance. So crossing the legs again. Sorry, the light keeps changing. It's when the sun keeps going in and out. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Let them be light. Exhale, straight back down into that forward fold. Again, if you've crossed mid-shin, flex the feet as you allow the body to yield forwards. And just by changing the cross of the legs and by flexing the feet, you might notice there's a different relationship with that stretch. So I notice if my feet are quite active there, I can feel it in my outer hip of the leg that's in front. Take one more nice deep breath in. And breathing out to see if you can soften a little more. Lovely. Walk the hands all the way back, rebuilding the spine. Just uncross the legs for a minute, give the legs a little bit of a bounce. And then see if you can find a comfortable seated position now. So some of you, that might mean recrossing the legs, popping something underneath your hips. Just going to finish the little seated meditation today. So if seated really doesn't feel comfortable for you, then feel free to lie down or you can lean up against a wall, but find a comfortable position to sit yourself up in. And then let the hands rest somewhere intuitively. So for some of you, that might mean palms down. Don't think about it too much. Just let the arms fall wherever they feel comfortable, wherever the shoulders can release. You might change position midway. They might start on your knees. They might end up on your lap. Close your eyes as you find that comfortable sitting position. Maybe the back is lightly supported. Maybe you have something underneath your sitting bones. As you close your eyes, just bring your awareness now to the base of your body, into your sit bones. And just allow your spine to float upwards from that stable support of your sitting bones. So get a feeling and a sense of length from your base up, and the crown of the head lengthening up towards the ceiling, chin tucked in ever so slightly. And now just bring your awareness to your breath. I'm just going to do a little breath meditation. It's called parallel breath meditation. Nice and straightforward, nothing complicated. So as your next inhale arrives in the body, just imagine a line being drawn all the way up from your sitting bones to the crown of your head, lengthening up through the spine. And then as you release the exhale, imagine that line being drawn all the way down from the crown of your head, dropping the weight into your sit bones. So inhale, long straight line, lifting you up from your sit bones all the way up to the crown of the head. Feeling of space and light. And as you exhale, feel that line dropping all the way back down from the crown of the head to your sit bones, allowing the sit bones to spread into the floor beneath you. Just continue with that, those two parallel lines. The inhale, the line comes up, 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 lengthening and lifting. And as you exhale, just feel a little bit of weight dropping back down into your base without the body slumping. Just get a feeling of softening. And as you continue just with that breath, following those imaginary parallel lines being drawn up and down with each inhale and exhale. Can you soften your shoulders? Can you relax your knees? Can you soften your face? As you continue with this, there's a school of yoga called Kundalini Yoga. And Kundalini Yoga believes that the spine is almost the channel for this energy that we have. And this is a Kundalini meditation, almost to bring some energy into our bodies, freeing up that channel, if you like, for a free flow of energy. So whether we choose to believe that or not, if we don't, it's a lovely one to calm the mind, as well as a quiet strengthening of our core muscles and our postural muscles, helping us sit nice and tall. A lovely one to calm the mind before we greet the rest of the day. So let's do a couple more rounds of breath, breathing in all the way up to the crown of the head. Really get that feeling of light and lift. And exhale, that feeling of just the weight dropping down into your sit bones, softening the shoulders. One more. Beautiful. Let the breath settle back into what is a comfortable and natural rhythm for you. We'll just bring the fingertips just down to the floor alongside your hips now, coming onto your spider fingers so the fingertips are pressing down, palms are lifted. See if you can push the fingertips into the floor, see if you can lift up through the breastbone, soften the shoulders, lengthen the neck. And then we'll turn the palms up towards the ceiling. And as you inhale, lift the arms, lift the chin. Beautiful. Exhale, hands to heart, chin to chest. And wishing each other a day that's anything but blue. And if you're feeling navy at the start, let's hope you're more of a sky blue at the end of your practice. And namaste. Thank you, thank you. And all there is in between. Thank you. Lovely to see you today. It was a lovely article. It was very entertaining about how she tried everything to shift this feeling of blueness and then realised, well, it was up to her to do something about it.